Okay, in this movie I'm going to continue the example I just gave you, and I'm going to show you how to add a control up here which determines the x-axis range. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to drag some cells around, and I'm going to select this little control panel here, and when I go to the edge of it, it turns into a hand. You can see that. And that allows me to drag and move those cells. I'm going to drag it up one cell. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to give myself a T max here cell. And what I'd like to do is I'll always start at T equals 0, and I'd like to be able to make it so that as I change this value, the T-axis rescales itself. And I'll show you how I do that. Maybe I want Tmax to be 2.2 seconds. How am I going to get this to work? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one at 0, and I'm going to ask myself how many steps are there from the first time cell to the last time cell. And if I select that time column, I see that there are 14 rows in it. And so there are 13 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 steps. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make each of these steps to be Tmax divided by 13. And so I'm going to go to the cell B7 and say that this cell is equal to the value from the cell above it, and I could either type a B6 or just click on B6, plus, and now I'm going to have Tmax divided by 13. And with a parenthesis, and now I want C3 to be an absolute reference, so I'm going to put dollar signs on it. And so I say, okay, I like that. And now I'm going to take this formula and I'm going to copy it down. I can either drag it or double click it. Here I've dragged it down. And now you can see that it works out just right. When I set Tmax to 2.2, I have these values in between here, and it ends up at 2.2. When I make it 4.5, for example, it works. If I go to 0.2, it works just fine. Okay? And so now I have added another row to my control panel, and I can give it some borders. And that's an example of allowing the control panel to help control your x-axis. And notice that I've left although I fixed in the last video, I fixed the vertical axis to run from -1 to 1 always. The horizontal axis, if I right click on it and say format axis, it went off your screen there. No, I didn't want to format the axis. I wanted to here we go. Horizontal axis scale. The min and the max are set to the auto values, so they will react as I change Tmax. So we've scaled out to 3 now. Okay, so there's a quick demo on using a control panel to help scale your x-axis.